the game, out again with a lower extremity issue. And there is Van Allen Lubin, a Tar Heel a year ago, winning the opening tip for the Wolves in 32 minutes. Deep shot clock for Seth Trimble, guarded by Copeland. Trimble has to put it up, and he hits the back, gives him a neck massage.
If anyone ever wants to know Will Wade in a 30-second span, that is him. That's his personality. He's irate.
Rate or a shade of laughing. It was the former Saturday after NC State blew a late lead against Miami. Darian Williams gets an early paint touch, and he has the 9-2 start in the league. Lost 2 straight last week. Crushed at Louisville, and then against Miami, an 8-0 run for the Canes in the final. Luka Bogovac wraps it around to Dixon. Into Zayden High. High will slam it off ever since. Fifth year as head coach, and he's won 20 or more all 5. Stevenson, somehow that ball found its way to Jaron Stevenson.
The majority of that in the second half. And he has now had double-figure scoring in 3 of his last 6 games, and is able to complete the 3-point.
Now with the loss of Wilson and Vessar, 5 straight for Carolina to jump back in front. Williams bangs it home from around the elbow. So Paul McNeil Jr., great shooter for the Wolfpack. Williams with a transition triple. Very rare occurrence for Luka Bogovac. Copeland on the run out. Copeland, able, sticks it.
I would not be shocked, especially in this game, in this rivalry. And what Darian Williams in the first time of this rivalry has already meant to it, I would not be shocked.
He's a big reason why State has an early lead. Terrence Arsenault has replaced him. Lubin finds a cutting Copeland, the big to the point guard, and finish.
And then makes the same gesture. You're too small. We talked about a 6'6" point guard.
Jonathan is tipped out to Paul McNeil. Looking for Lubin against Stevenson. One dribble, lefty finish.
The ace hits the layup off of a nice find, and then the roles are reversed as Copeland finds Van Allen Lubin for the post-up. He's able to go to the left hand and finish over Stevenson.
To Darian Williams fouling through Washington, who had all 3 free throws. Miami absolutely stole a game. If there's any more, the second time in 9 games. Usually Darian Williams operates the point when Copeland takes his seat. As Abel buries his second 3.
As was the UNC-Duke rivalry, if not bigger.
Certainly in the 70s, NC State was on a roll in this rivalry. They're on a roll right
again.
Trimble against Sagne, try to cross him up. Sagne holds his ground. Now Zayden High, and High will roll up.
And you got the mismatch. Seth Trimble has to be in drive.
Sagne stuffed him, but High.
There's much available to any of the Tar Heels off the bounce.
They have been at times this year an elite defensive team, NC State, just not with consistency. Young, Abel, shot fake, driving, and Abel throws it to Sagne as an outlet. Sagne with a lot of dribbling here will leave.
Ovation.
And Darian's going to the table as Zayden High tips in off the side of the rim. North Carolina is 1 for 11 from 3. Here goes Copeland, plays it home.
Those are the attempts. Gets 15 layups. Will Wade will take that. He doesn't want him taking a bunch of 3s.
I think he's about to get a layup. Slumping a little bit right now, trying to stay in the NCAA tournament picture against Otega Owe and the Wildcats. That will follow us, ESPN and the ESPN.
Try to get a win here on the road.
Here's Williams wearing that New Jersey after the bloody fall. Left it short, but Lubin would not. Badly on a 3. Carolina is 1 for 13 out there. Copeland going into everybody.
At midcourt, as he often does, pregame, not warming up, just standing and looking, talking to himself, talking.
Zayden High hit the first of. It was a 1-and-1 situation, and High goes 2 for 2. Foul was the 6 assists, 1 turnover for the Wolfpack. 14 for 23 shooting. McNeil has been quiet until now. Rebound to Powell.
And those are the shots that Will Wade can do without no one else touching the basketball, and it turns
Are up Off his not far. He's averaging 14 and 7, and tonight he's got 8 and 4,
which are both career highs. You're talking about a young man who started 20 games at 39.6%. But they've been able to attack and dominate the painted areas simply because there's no Henry Bessar. And they also needs to bring that one back out to make sure the Pack get the last shot of the half.
Dixon instead with a very tough 2. Follow-up from Powell. NC State trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. And again, North Carolina playing without Caleb Wilson, out with a broken bone
Protocol in place. Even though he did come back on the floor and was cleared by the trainers, symptoms often are lingering. I'm not saying that that's the case. In the second straight possession where the Tar Heels have gone to Stevenson in the post, he was able to get a bucket on the first possession of the half, taking advantage of a miss. Still able to get hands on the basketball.
Here's another 3, another miss from Trimble. Offensive rebound high, and he was pushed.
Win. Trimble had 15 points in that game.
Off a miss, McNeil 3. They had Stevenson open under the basket. The Heels instead
threes and put that pressure on the Wolfpack to guard you beyond that line.
Holloman had a quiet first half. Leans in for his. Holloman rebounded by High, who's got 8 of those. Tar Heels on the run again. Dixon smothered from. So High leaves the floor. Stevenson, the lone big now for North Carolina. Williams goes to work. Exquisite. NC State +8 in the paint today. 26 points there. Williams. Copeland denied by Stevenson with 1 floor. Copeland goes 6th seed in Joe Lunardi's projected bracket. NC State is an 8. Likely tournament teams, not locks. Bogovac strokes a 3.
And great action to get both.
Fades and nearly had another. Bogovac cuts inside.
For other guys, especially like Zayden High, giving them true depth off the bench.
Inside, Young leads free for 2. Trade stops for the rest of this game. Copeland off his own miss. Bully ball from. Here's Claudier. He's having an all-ACC type of night. He's had a lot of them. Was defensive end, was a fullback, ended a quarterback there, and that was only a small part of his extraordinary life story. Copeland with 18. Here's Darren Williams, CA with 11.
But here's the thing. Now he's playing against a bigger player, but it doesn't stop him. We talked about physicality with Zayden High, a bigger player.
Copeland knew there was an open player. It was Williams.
North Carolina should play Duke, and they should play North Carolina State twice every year.
Young hits a 3.
Points for Darren Williams, and an efficient 6 of 10 from the field.
4-pack players in double figures. Abel's one of them. He has 3 more. Percentage shot of the evening. Trimble might have gotten away with a walk, and that's out of bounds. Or the Big 12 with 8 projected teams. Joe Lunardi has these teams projected as 6 and 8 seeds respectively. Carolina on the 6th line. And Dr. Alexander. High has hit 5 in a row from the line. A battle between those two. Will had another dandy Saturday. Abel misses a 3. Moussa Sanye cleans it up.
And Will Wade tells his players the truth about their performance.
And he broke the rules. He admits it. Arsenault. There with Florida, among others. Michigan certainly has to be in that conversation. Winning at Purdue tonight. 101 for Abel. Within single digits in the second half. Faced their largest deficit of the season at 23. Dixon misses.
And leading defensively in the game against Kentucky.
Going to Rupp next, Kev.
And old school SEC at a top 4 seed. That would mean a double bye in the ACC tournament starting in mid-March. Jonathan Powell gets the little bounce to
rematch of this game with those 2 guys in the fold.
McNeil. Paul McNeil.
They have not shown up for the Tar Heels in this game.
Lubin, a little shove to Stevenson.
Free. I'll let you guess what restaurant. Sandwiches for everyone.
No chicken. 12 career points in now his 27th game. Abel. Oh, yeah. And NC State, from just about the very first minute, put their foot down